Welcome back to Straight Talk. So, the fall community meeting took place on November 16th at 7 p.m. at the Golden Age Club. And before we get into some of the one agenda item that they discussed, we'll talk about some of the issues that they had in the open discussion, and gas taxes came up.
And you had wrote something to the council in regards to that?
On the day of the meeting, Mary Louise White was in the same restaurant as I, and she had mentioned that there was a meeting tonight. And for several weeks I've been sitting in this restaurant, and people have been coming in, and more than one person explained to me the difficulties they're having with receiving their gas tax refund. So I wrote a letter in the restaurant, and I gave it to Mary Louise and asked her to present it at the meeting that night. And I don't know if she had presented it or not.
She just mentioned that during open discussion that some people in the community were concerned about these gas taxes issues, and she didn't really understand it because she didn't have a car and stuff like that. She doesn't buy gas, so.
Well, I'd like to at least reiterate what my proposal was. I had wrote a proposal. I asked a wind farm. Why a wind farm? We're going to invest $60 million and don't get nothing back for 30 years.
We've been asking that for months.
But we have so many people that our economy's not the greatest. In the gas refund, it's reported only 22% of our people apply for the refund. So I want to make a proposal that because of our people going through so many problems with the Quebec representatives regarding this tax, there's people being denied, there's people being questioned. So it identifies we need political representation to get this refund. So I proposed that instead of investing money for a wind farm, that the Band Council become responsible. Let the people of Kahnawake bring their receipts to the Band Council. The Band Council, in turn, pay the recipients of those receipts, take the receipts collectively to Quebec, and act as political representatives in seeking the refund for the community. I mean, I would even go so far as to say give them 2% of the refund I got coming, make it a business, so that they can claim they're not going to lose money. They'll be making money if they do it properly, and this way everybody in the community will have access to that right. As it is now, like you said, only 22% of the people apply for it because of so much red tape and no political representation. So I'm trying to raise that proposal that instead of going to wind farms and investing money that we're not going to see for 30 years, do something as a political representative here in the community and represent us the proper way.
So at the community meeting, people were obviously discussing this issue, and going from like council chiefs to community members, and Chief Martin LeBorn suggested that we invest our money in a community like gas station, where you don't charge taxes, and people were mentioning that in other reserves you don't get charged tax at gas stations, and Chief Peggy Mayo was talking about how it should be like that in here in Kahnawake, but I don't know if it's controversy between like the gas station owners, or that they don't want to, or.
Well, one of the things that this has come up every time you breathe close to election time, it comes up. The issue of a community gas station. Martin brought this up 10 years ago, maybe. The first time he was on council, was you have a community gas station. But I understand in some ways the way we kind of function as a community. Because as you say, I lived in Ontario. You go to reserves over there that happen to have gas stations, and you don't pay tax. They have the system at the point of purchase where if you had a gas card, tax exempt card, or your bank card, and they did the paperwork and they filed it with the government and got their money back. Now, on that basis alone, for what Bo was talking about, it shouldn't have to require, except initially to set it up, a political table with the government.
That's right.
It's an administrative function.
That's right.
So all you have to do is really, but and the controversy comes up in Kahnawake is the way we've been set up in terms of how we do business. It's the controversy. The gas station owners have, decided they like functioning in the way they function, and to all of a sudden get into that whole thing, they don't want to have to do that. Okay, then maybe what Bo was saying then is let the council work out the details with the government and say, look, let's do this as an administrative thing. There are people here hurting, there's people, there are older people who have car, anybody, never mind. Okay, it's our right not to be taxed, whether you're able-bodied, young, what have you, okay? Bring the receipts in, set it up, or then finally get the political will, open up a community gas station. One thing, one final thing though, I mean, there was a former councillor set up a gas station, was supposedly, if you walked in, you came and you gave your bank card, and you did, if you had your bank card with you, then you could get some money off on the gas. It wasn't all the taxes. We shouldn't be paying any taxes on it.
But the taxes that we're getting back, it's what, 16.7?
That's not all the taxes.
But
So, is that only the, is that
That's a
only
specific
provincial?
tax.
That's right.
It's a specific tax, it's a provincial thing. But the federal excise tax, the GST, all those things are included in there. And the thing is that gas is delivered to Kahnawake, it's delivered free of PST, it's delivered free of these things. So what we're
Do
talking
we
about
know
is
that for
another
sure?
tax.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's
'Cause
a public
I mean,
record. It's
I,
public
you know,
record.
I've heard a lot of stuff over the years in regards to the gas and everything else, but and then it's, it's funny because if you talk to one gas station owner and another one, they have two different stories. You know what I mean?
No,
It's
no,
all
but,
competition.
No, but as far as it's concerned, as far as the taxing concerned, as far as the amount charged and everything, and who regulates it, everybody
Well-
seems to have a different story. So I
Okay,
don't know where that's coming from.
let me synthesize the story for you. Let me boil it down for something that you can put in a bowl. But it comes down to one simple thing: is that gas. I made the point. It comes to Kahnawake free of GST and free of PST. Okay. Now that would mean that 15 cents on the dollar less we ought to be paying for gas here.
Minimum.
Okay, minimum. Okay. However, the issue came up. Remember when they turned off the pumps?
Yeah, that was
Okay,
in the
because
80s.
now it's about parity. So the government really they want to know that non-native people are not coming here and getting gas 15 cents a liter cheap or a dollar cheap.
But that was the surrounding gas station
No,
businesses
but-
that were
but no,
complaining.
my point is this
Yeah,
here,
yeah.
is that the gas station, the gas business in Kahnawake, they don't want to give that up. You understand? It's that they keep the price within a certain parity.
Yeah, within
And they give you
4
these,
cents.
they give you receipts, and for a while, you were getting inflated receipts, okay? And that the government was in turn challenging and denying for the specific tax thing. But in a sense, all that money, it's like in de facto, you are paying the GST and PST on the tax you purchase over there, okay? So and that's every time, the council tried to negotiate with the gas station owners, that was where they always came to loggerheads, okay? And that's where Martin goes to all the time, community gas station, well, do it.
I would just like to have more information, whether it's a gas station owner come on the show and then try to I guess understand more about where that's coming from. And you know what, is because it's hard to make a decision, or, I mean, I agree though, but I don't understand why Ontario and Quebec are so different when it comes to gas at the point of sale.
But there are even gas stations in Quebec that are different than Kahnawake. That you do have, they're mentioning this at the community meeting, that you can get the tax off
Yeah.
in Quebec. It's
I gotta
just
tell you one
Kahnawake.
place.
Kahnawake.
Ganassadage. Not wrong, Ganassadage.
I think they also said Onondaga,
In the village
too.
of Oka.
That's right.
One day, I went over there, this is about 5, 6, 7 years ago, I can't remember exactly, and I couldn't believe it. The guy asked me for my band number.
So how much
Give me
did you
a
save
test.
though?
I didn't pay the provincial tax, and I didn't pay the GST.
Oh, well, geez,
Like in
it's worth
Six
to go
Nations,
for a
Six
ride over
Nations,
there.
a gas, 50 cents a liter, 57 cents a liter.
I know.
And they still give you a receipt because they can't take everything off. I think it's the federal excise
Yeah,
tax.
the excise taxes,
file
you
for
can't,
that.
Yeah, but now with that new HST, that may change.
Harmonized, that's right.
The harmonized
Well,
tax changes.
they'll come-
It's
they're
because
gonna come to
even
blows
I
over
got
that.
caught with
See,
that.
my beef is, I don't care how many gas stations we got. All I'm trying to do is get the band council to be accountable. We have to fight as individuals with the Quebec tax revenue to get our monies. We need political representation. I'm just asking the council to come to the plate and represent us politically. and be responsible. I mean, if they can invest millions of dollars someplace else, they can surely invest a little thing to start a business, if you want to call it a business, so that people will be able to exercise their right.
Isn't that
No,
part of their agreements though?
and I just want to go backtrack, because now we're talking about PST and GST, but in your proposal, you're talking about that specific tax. You're not
Right.
even talking about the PST
No, I'm
and
not.
GST.
The specific tax.
And that's important, that's an important point,
Yeah.
because you know what would happen is if the council agreed to say, we're gonna set up a table to discuss this with the provincial government, and include these other taxes, they would be saying, well, how come your people aren't getting that off anyways, because it goes to the reserve for your those
That's
taxes?
right, that's right.
How come the gas station owners aren't giving you that? And then we'd be in this terrible place.
Well, anyway, that's another issue, but we're gonna have to take a quick break, and we'll be back right after these messages.